All right, let's jump right in. We're going to talk about a language that, is kind of quietly running a huge chunk of our modern world. And nope, it's not English or Mandarin. I'm talking about a programming language called Python. And the story of how it became so incredibly popular, it's a great story.
So, before we really get into the nitty gritty of what Python actually is, I think we just have to stop for a second and appreciate the sheer scale of this thing. I mean, this is not some niche tool just for academics or something, it is literally everywhere.
And that's really just scratching the surface. Seriously, think about it for a sec. The app you're scrolling through for photos, the agency that's literally putting rovers on Mars, the service that streams all your favorite music. Yep, they all lean super heavily on this one language. And that's not even mentioning giants like Google, Facebook, Reddit. You get the picture.
And look, the proof is right there in the numbers. If you look at something like the TOB index, which is a big deal, it tracks how popular programming languages are. Python is officially number one. Number one. And get this, it's been named Language of the Year 6 times for its insane growth. That's a record. No other language has even come close. So, okay, this kind of explosive popularity, it just makes you ask, right? What is it about Python that's so special? What's the secret sauce here? Well, to figure that out, we've got to go back, way back, to the beginning. And here's the cool part. It all started not in some huge corporate lab, but with just one person and a pretty powerful, almost radical idea. What if programming didn't have to be so complicated? What if it could actually be simple and easy to read?
So the story starts back in the late 80s with Guido van Rossum over in the Netherlands. The first version gets released in 91, and it just kind of evolves from there. The year 2000 gave us Python 2.0, which was a pretty big deal. But then came 2008 and Python 3.0. This was a massive, landscape-changing move because it wasn't compatible with the older versions. I mean, that's a really bold decision, but it's the move that basically set the stage for the Python we know and love today.
Oh, and you gotta love this fun fact because it just perfectly captures the whole vibe of the language. It is not named after a snake. Nope. Guido van Rossum was a big fan of Monty Python's Flying Circus, and that name choice, it points to a core goal. He wanted Python to actually be fun to use. And that's not just a piece of trivia, you know? It's a huge clue about its entire design philosophy. And that philosophy brings us to this single, powerful idea. It's really the heart and soul of Python. It comes from something called the Zen of Python, which is this cool set of 19 guiding principles for the language. And right at the top of that list, maybe the most important one of all, is this: readability counts. Okay, so if we want to get a little technical for a second, Python is what's called a high-level multi-paradigm language. So what does that even mean? Well, high-level just means it handles a lot of the complex computer stuff for you automatically. You don't have to worry about things like memory management. And multi-paradigm, that just means it's super flexible. You're not locked into one specific way of writing code. You can pick and choose the style that works best for whatever you're trying to do. But how does Python actually force you to be simple? Well, it does this one thing, and to someone who doesn't code, it might seem like a tiny detail. But trust me, to a programmer, it is a huge deal. It completely changes how the code itself looks on the screen. You see, in most programming languages, you use all this punctuation, right? Like these curly braces to show where a block of code starts and stops. Python, it just throws all of that right out the window. Instead, it uses something way simpler: white space. Just the indentation of the line. That's what defines the structure. It's a design choice called the offside rule, and it's a game changer. And this just shows it perfectly. Take a look. On the left, you've got all those braces and semicolons you see in other languages. It's just kind of cluttered, right? Now look at the right. That's the Python way. It's clean. It's simple. The way it looks on the page is exactly how it works logically. You literally can't write messy-looking code. The language just won't let you. So that simple, readable core, that's the foundation. But it's not the whole story. Not even close. The real power of Python comes from what you can build on top of that foundation. It's like having the perfect, simplest set of building blocks. Python was designed from day one to be built upon, to be extended. So right out of the box, Python comes with this huge standard library. Think of it as a bunch of prepackaged tools ready to go. But the real magic? That comes from what everyone else has added. There's this massive ecosystem of tools made by the community. And it's all hosted on something called the Python Package Index, or PyPy for short. It's basically a giant open library where anyone can share their code. And when I say massive, I mean, how big are we talking? Well, as of early 2025, PyPI hosts over 614,000 packages. Just let that number sink in. It's astronomical. What that means for you is for almost any problem you can possibly think of, chances are somebody, somewhere, has already built a tool for it, and you can download it and start using it in seconds.
And because of this incredible toolbox, Python isn't just a one-trick pony. Not at all. I mean, just look at this chart. It's a huge force in web development. It's the undisputed king of AI and machine learning. Seriously, it dominates that field. It's absolutely essential for scientific computing and crunching data, and it's used for automating all sorts of little tasks. The versatility is just off the charts.
Okay, so let's recap. We've got its unique history, this super simple syntax, and a massive ecosystem of tools. All of these things kind of blend together to create this unique quality. There's actually a special word for it that developers use when they see a really well-written piece of Python code.
And that word is Pythonic. It means so much more than just the code works. Pythonic code is clean, it's efficient, and it's written in a way that just feels right for the language. It's about fully embracing that core philosophy of simplicity and readability we keep coming back to.
And this right here, this is another gem from the Zen of Python that really gets to the heart of what Pythonic is all about. There should be one, and preferably only one, obvious way to do it. So instead of giving you 10 different super clever, complex ways to solve a problem, Python's whole vibe is about finding that one clear, straightforward solution. It's all about clarity over cleverness every single time. So that really just leaves us with one final thought. We live in a world that often rewards complexity, right? But Python, it bet the entire farm on simplicity. And it proved that a language that's easy to read, easy to learn, and easy to use couldn't just compete with the more complex ones, it could blow past them and become the most popular language on the planet. And that kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other huge, complex problems out there could be solved with just a radical